houses here. Last week we talked about how to pick out bathroom and kitchen fixtures. This week we're going to be talking about how to paint your light fixtures and update them. You never want to throw away light fixtures. So anytime I go into a renovation and I see brass or outdated light fixtures, I grab them because I know I can refinish them. So these are light fixtures from a renovation that we actually just sold. So we took these out and put nice new brushed nickel fixtures in them. So I grabbed these and they've been sitting in my garage. So steps to painting your light fixtures, super easy. First step is you are going to clean off your light fixture. So as you can see, this light fixture is very dusty, very dirty. So obviously you're gonna disassemble the light fixture because we're not gonna paint the globe, we're only painting the metal part. So this is kind of outdated, not really my style. I like brushed nickel or oil rubbed bronze, depending on, you know, if you want to go more modern or more traditional. We talked about that in the last video, modern versus traditional. Oil rubbed bronze tends to be a little bit more on the traditional side, and brushed nickel tends to be a little bit more on the modern side. And then of course you have your just black. You can do black too. So what we're going to do is just kind of get all the dust off. You can either use warm water or like a TSP or some paint or some soap. But right now I'm just using warm water. These cloths are awesome. These are my kids' little, from Carter's. These are my little washcloths. I use these for everything. They're like a terry cloth. You can get these in the baby section. They're good anywhere from wiping dirty mouths to wiping dirty fixtures. So, okay, we've got that kind of dusted off. Next, I'm just going to sand it down because I want to smooth it out. Depending on what kind of shape the fixture is in, depends on what kind of grit you're going to use for your sandpaper. So this one is in nice shape. It's really kind of smooth. It doesn't have any peeling paint or anything on it. So I chose a 320 grit, anywhere from 200 to 400 grit for smooth surfaces that just need a little bit of sanding. If the paint's peeling and it's in rough shape, you're going to go with a lower grit. Lower grit means it's going to sand it more. It's going to be rougher. So you're just going to kind of sand it down. We're going to go kind of all the way around it. You don't have to sand it like all the way down to the metal. You know, we're not like refinishing wood here. So most of the time this is actually paint on metal. So we're just kind of sanding it down. You can see how it's just getting a little bit lighter, but this is kind of taking off all the grime, all the grease. I don't know how long these fixtures have been in this house, but probably a really long time. So they're dusty, dirty, kind of grimy. Okay, so we've sanded it down. We're just going to take a little bit of warm water again and get all that dust off, because obviously you don't want to be spraying on top of dust. You want a nice clean surface. And again, I'm just using warm water. You don't have to go crazy. You can use like a TSP or a soap, but for all intents and purposes on this video, we're just going to use water. Okay? And then remember, you're going to also do the same thing. I'll just kind of with these little pieces. So we're just going to kind of dust them off, dust this little guy off, which is the little knob. Okay? Okay, so next you're going to choose your paint. So we've got 3 different choices here. I use Rust-Oleum Universal Metallic Paint and Primer in 1. All this information is going to be up on the blog on Carrie Buys Houses and Carrie's Corner. So if you guys want information on the products that I use, all of that will be referenced in the blog for this video. So I've got antique flat nickel, basically a brushed nickel. I've got oil rubbed bronze, again, more traditional, more modern. And then I've got black, just a plain black, which I really use the black for like exterior fixtures. I use that a lot on exterior. But you want to use Rust-Oleum because it's not going to rust. So you can use it inside or out because it seals everything, and so then it doesn't rust. Okay, so let's go with, we're going to do an oil rubbed bronze on this one. Since I did a satin nickel on this one, and I'll show you the finished product. So you're just going to shake up the can really good. And you don't have to be a professional painter to do this. All you do is spray. So, okay, this is just the first coat. You're probably going to have to do at least 2 coats, and you don't have to wait a long time in between coats. Okay, so that'll probably just take like an hour or 2 before we can do the second coat. Make sure you get into like all the little crevices. You don't want to miss anything. And always do this outside, don't do it inside. You want a well-ventilated area. You don't want to come out high or full of paint. Okay, so you're just going to let that set, let it dry, and then you're going to do maybe a second coat. Now for these little pieces, again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to spray them. Okay? These are easy. And for the little pieces, if you need to, you can get like a little paintbrush to kind of get in there. But normally, I'm just kind of like coating it and letting it dry. Okay? And that's it. So you just let it dry, and then you put on your second coat, and then you put it all together. Obviously, you're gonna rinse out and wash out this bowl. You can kind of take some sandpaper to this part too, but all of that's gonna get covered once we assemble it. So here's a before and after. This was the before, okay? It's kind of outdated, it's grimy, it's dusty. And then this was the after. Now I just did this literally 5 minutes ago, so I didn't do a great job on it, but I just wanted to show you kind of a finished product. But normally I would have spent a little bit more time, and it's still drying. But as you can see, we went from drab to fab. So again, all of this is going to be in my blog at Carrie Buys Houses on Carrie's Corner. All the different products that I use, kind of sandpaper that you need to use. Again, take-home message, never throw away light fixtures. You can do this with domes. You can do this with chandelier type. I mean, there's so many things you can do. We've done poles with, you know, the fans where the poles come down. Those poles are expensive. If you have high ceilings and you need to hang the fan, those poles can be like 60, 80 bucks sometimes. So we'll take it and we'll just spray it, brush nickel or oil rub bronze to match our new fan, and now we just saved 80 bucks. So that's it for today. If you or anyone you know wants to sell a house, please contact me at Carrie Buys Houses, or you can email me. And if you're interested in learning how to buy and sell for a profit, go to creatingwealthusa.com, or you can message me at Carrie Buys Houses Facebook page. Thanks, guys.